The whole point of DC Next Level is to elevate characters that don't get the spotlight often. And they've collaborated a couple of times in the past. So this is definitely a great pairing. Now, here's my theory. Another series we're going to see. So we'll have to see how that goes. Now, there were some rumors circulating to kind of bring them to the forefront, bring them to the next level. So the DC Next Level initiative was announced at New York Comic Con today. So let's take a look at some of the books that we might be seeing in the next year. The first one is Batwoman, and the writer is going to be Greg Rucka, and the artist is going to be Danny. Now, Greg Rucka is one of the co-creators of Batwoman, so it's cool to see a return to that, and he promises some big swings here. So this is one to definitely be looking forward to. The next book is going to be Lobo, and it's going to be written by Scotty Young, and the art is going to be by Jorge Corona. This is a group that did a book called Ain't No Grave, and it looked really great. It was like a sort of fantasy Western type book, and they've collaborated a couple of times in the past, so this is definitely a great pairing. From what I understand, it's going to be a very passionate take on the character very close to these two, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. We're going to have a new Legion of Superheroes book written by Josh Williamson, which is really exciting. I think that Josh Williamson is absolutely crushing it on G.I. Joe, and I think that he is doing a great job on Superman as well. The relationship between Superman and the Legion of Superheroes, I feel like we're not going to be able to ignore that, so I'm wondering if we'll see some kind of crossovers between those two. But it'll be the first time in quite a while, I think, that there's been a Legion of Superheroes book, so I think that Legion fans should be pretty hyped about this. Another book we're going to be seeing is Zatanna. Now, there were some rumors circulating that Greg Rucka was also going to be doing this book. He has denied those rumors. Now, the other thing to consider, though, is that Jamal Campbell recently wrote a Zatanna miniseries, and he is on the list of the DC Next Level creators that have been associated with projects that haven't been specifically assigned yet. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Jamal Campbell's name attached to the new Zatanna book as well. Zatanna is also going to be an ongoing series, which is really cool. I think a lot of these are going to stick to the 6 issue and then we'll see what happens format. But it's been said that Zatanna is going to be an ongoing, so we'll have to see how that goes. Another book we're going to see is Deathstroke the Terminator. I think that he's a really cool villain. I don't love that he's transitioned into a Batman villain, but maybe we'll get him back to his New Teen Titans roots. And no creative team has been assigned to this one yet, but it's looking pretty cool. Another series will be Firestorm the Nuclear Man. Now, there's no creative team attached to this yet. I really like the series from back in the 70s and 80s, but I think that it's going to be cool to see the character brought back to life again. I don't know if it's going to be the Ronnie Raymond version or not, but we'll have to see how it goes. Another series we're going to see is called The Demon. Now, we have to assume that this is going to be about Etrigan. Now, I've seen some names like Philip Kennedy Johnson brought up only because of the style that he had with Memento in the Batman and Robin series, which really would have worked really well with Etrigan. Now, I don't know if Philip Kennedy Johnson is going to have anything to do with DC Next Level. That's pure speculation on my part, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Another series we're going to see is called Batman Shadow of the Bat. Now, here's my theory on Batman Shadow of the Bat. Now, the entire point of the DC Next Level line is to give chances to characters that might not get a chance as often, right? To kind of bring them to the forefront, bring them to the next level. Well, Batman obviously doesn't need any more books. However, I'm wondering if this could be a Jace Fox Batman book, or even a Damian Wayne Batman book, or some kind of imaginative take on Batman as a character. So I would be surprised if this is Bruce Wayne. We'll have to see what happens this next year. And finally, the last series that was announced is called Barbara Gordon Breakout. Now, I love the fact that they titled this Barbara Gordon because I think it leaves it open to her role as Oracle and her role as Batgirl. So we could get either one of those, we could get both, or maybe it's neither. Maybe we get to see a whole new Barbara Gordon. I think that this is one that I'm extremely excited for. I don't feel like, apart from her supporting role in the Nightwing series, I don't feel like Barbara has gotten too much of a spotlight lately. So I think it's great that she's going to be part of DC Next Level. The whole point of DC Next Level is to elevate characters that don't get the spotlight often, to get new readers into these characters, and ultimately to support passion projects for the creators that just love these characters so much. I'm really excited for DC Next Level. These books are supposed to start coming out in March of 2026, spinning out of the DC KO series. So look forward to more news on those. watch the channel here, and I'll certainly be announcing stuff as I hear about it in regards to creative teams on these books.